Well, it looks like we are live. Hello, everybody. This is meteorologist Andrew Pinero. So, I'm trying a couple different things. I think I might be able to see the chat. If not, then there's not much of a chat going on. But now that I'm live, let me just see here if I can actually see the chat within this app. So, nothing at the moment. Maybe it has to be going for a little bit, but we'll see. This one's not going to be too long since, number one, it's fairly quiet weather, and number two, for the Thanksgiving forecast, it's a fairly straightforward forecast, and for the holidays, I wanted to try and keep this a little bit short. But let me see. Looks like either no one's commented yet, or there's just it's not actually showing the chat. So let's get started. So right now, nothing really too much happening. There's a little bit of shower action in the southwest part of New Jersey. That's really about it. And that might not even be fully making it down to the ground. Again, there's something called virga that could be happening where it's starting to dry out because we have this nice air mass coming in, but it is a little bit drier, so some of that precipitation may not be actually making it down to the ground. That was something very similar to over the weekend, where there was this very thick line of snow going over the lower Hudson Valley, but it didn't actually make it to the ground because there was a lot of dry air and what was called a dry slot, so all that snow pretty much evaporated before it came down to the ground. So that's pretty much what's going on right now with the radar. Satellite-wise, so this is the infrared satellite, since it is it's pretty much nighttime now since it's really late into November. These darker looking clouds, that means it's much lower or it's much thinner. The brighter cloud at the very front of the frames, or first few frames there, that was thicker clouds. That was with that rain this morning, so that made its way out. And now we just have a few of these high, thin passing clouds kind of coming through. But it's going to be a cold night tonight as well. So let's go to the forecast models here. Start with the GFS. We'll kind of go from the longest down to the shortest. So the GFS up first. So right here, this is showing that low pressure system that did make its way through earlier this morning. And this did bring some rain. It wasn't really a pleasant rain because it was still kind of cool out and chilly. So that's making its way out. But also take a look at these isobars, these black lines there. Those I always mention when they get really close together, that means it's breezy, so it is breezy out there. And then some of the drone footage that I'll be uploading a little bit later, I'll show you, and the drone, it kind of got away from me a little bit where it was kind of at its max with the wind. I tried to see if I can get anything. I did get some pretty neat footage, but the drone kind of was drifting a little bit away from me, so I brought it back in as soon as that was happening. So that's making its way out. And then we have this very nice high pressure, and it's fairly strong high pressure here making its way in. With this, we have clockwise rotation in the northern hemisphere. So this is where we're getting much cooler northwesterly winds coming through the tri-state region. They're pretty much all of the Northeast, right around the top side of that high pressure. So this pretty much stays with us. And for tomorrow, let me just go back to parade time. Let's start out in the morning. So this is about 7 a.m. Everybody is lining up. It's still going to be a little bit breezy. These isobars aren't as tight, but I don't really think the wind is going to be kind of affecting the parade too much. If anything, they may lower the level of the balloons, but that's really about it. So that was tomorrow, and then going into Friday, Black Friday, that high pressure is still in place. So this is in the afternoon hours, it's about 1 p.m. on Friday. It's still very dry throughout pretty much all of the tri-state. And then this high pressure still stays with us through the first part of your day on Saturday. So this is about 7 a.m. on Saturday. These isobars are close north into New York State, and that's slowly making its way down. So we're going to be seeing breezier conditions going later on into the afternoon. It looks to be dry for the start, but then by the time we get to the afternoon and the evening, this is where we'll be seeing some little spotty showers, but then as the temperature drops with the passing of a cold front, now there's a chance we could see a little bit of some snow flurries in the higher elevations going into early Sunday morning. And I want to stop, looks like right here at 7 a.m. There we go. Look how tight those isobars are right there. So very breezy. And this line here of the snow showers in mostly northern New York State and western Pennsylvania there, it's a very slight chance, but it could make it down into the lower Hudson Valley, and that would be giving some very fluffy looking snow showers. Nothing really in terms of accumulation. I don't see any type of accumulation just yet. It's still a little bit early in the season for that, so we're just going to be seeing these little bursts of snow, like a live stream I did, I believe it was Monday, with that little bit of snow. Then after that, this is going into Monday, we have another high pressure coming in, and this high pressure is also pretty strong and bringing in again some northwesterly winds throughout all of the Northeast. And it looks to be pretty breezy on Monday as well. Tuesday, so Tuesday is kind of the land between two pressure systems is kind of what I'm calling it. High pressure out into the Atlantic, low pressure is up in Canada, just out of frame here, but the pressure gradient between these two make these isobars really, really tight. So Tuesday looks to be like a very breezy day. So overall, we have a pretty breezy forecast, even though there's not much in the way of precipitation. And then going into Wednesday here. So the last frame here, this is 1 a.m. on Wednesday, I'll show you. I actually see the comments here. Yeah, Raymond, I saw you said that before, the squall lines. So inside the streaming app, I'm actually able to see the chat. So that was something that was there all this time that I didn't even realize. So I don't have to fuss with trying to maneuver myself around, trying to see things on the green screen when I have the screen right here in the laptop that I'm playing with. All right, so where were we? We are on Wednesday at about 1 a.m. here. So there is this line right here of cold front. This will be coming through, and again, these isobars stay very tightly packed, so it's going to be breezy through the next week. And with this, it doesn't really look like it's holding too much together on the GFS here, because there it is. This is about 1 a.m. Then it starts to fall apart, and it doesn't really do anything. So it looks like maybe a spot shower chance later in the day on Wednesday, or that's about it. It's really uncertain right now just because it's jumping a little bit between it's there one frame and not there the next frame. But that's at least with the GFS. Now let's switch over to IBM's special one, the Deep Thunder Watson supercomputer. So this is going back to today. This is the low pressure system that did bring us rain in a lot of spots, but it was showing very north. There were maybe some little flakes this morning. Now, let's see. If I fast forward here a little bit, let's stop this tomorrow morning about 7 a.m. It's showing kind of the same picture. This high pressure right there, it's still a fairly nice, strong high pressure, so it's going to be keeping everything pretty much at bay. But again, around the clockwise rotation of a high pressure in the northern hemisphere, this is bringing in some northwesterly winds throughout all of the Northeast. So it looks to be a little bit breezy. Again, I don't think it's really going to be anything to affect the Macy's parade. They may just have to lower the balloon's flying level or the altitude a little bit, but that's pretty much it. Then we're going to go into Black Friday. And this high pressure is going to be in there as well. So I don't know if anyone's going out very early, but I'll just stop the picture here at about 1 a.m. So this is 1 a.m. Friday. That high is still in place. It's kind of keeping all of these snow showers pretty much at bay. I don't really think they're going to make it that far down, but there's a slight chance that once you get up into central New York around Albany, that's where we could see maybe some little snow showers. And now we're fast forwarding pretty much throughout the day. So what's interesting on this one, with that high pressure, it's showing inside this isobar, sorry. This is showing not really too breezy because there's not much of a pressure gradient inside there. But behind it with that next low pressure, the two pressure systems together make it a little bit breezier. So now we're going into Saturday. So this is 2 a.m. on Saturday. So this is bringing those isobars very close together again. So it looks to be pretty breezy on Saturday and nothing really in the morning. So as I fast forward here, we're going to be going through just the morning hours. Pretty dry until right about here. Now this is 11 a.m. Oh, there. I was looking at the chat in the reverse order. Hold on. Well, there's a possibility of some lake effect snow, especially with this on the backside of this system. I'll show you real quickly on that. But yeah, I mentioned the Capital District just because you're in the chat, so I figured I'd mention it since you're from there. So on this one, this is where the lake effect snow, we're starting to see it. This is about 9 p.m. Saturday. So this is showing that little bit of a mix between some regular rain and the snow showers kind of coming off the Great Lakes. Now this is going to be kind of a twofold effect. There's lake effect snow that we typically see off the Great Lakes, but there's also something called wraparound snow. So the low pressure system, which is pretty much right at about there, it's a little bit off frame, as it spins counterclockwise and brings in this flow around the backside of the low pressure system, it's bringing in cold air into the moisture that's still there, so that's where that wraparound snow could happen. And oh, it looked like that was the end of that forecast model. I don't think so. I think it just stopped. Okay, there we go. There we go. So now this is going into about 7 a.m. on Sunday. This is showing, yeah, some of these snow showers could make it down as far as the lower Hudson Valley and some spots in Pennsylvania, not really going anywhere too much into New Jersey or Long Island, but there is a chance. Not really. I didn't see the big thing with the severe thunderstorm warning was hail. There really wasn't much hail or big enough hail to meet that severe thunderstorm criteria. So I didn't really think there was going to be any severe thunderstorm warnings, but there was a lot of wind and there was that squall line that we were talking about earlier. But yeah, I don't think it didn't really surprise me that they didn't issue any severe thunderstorm warnings. Let's see here. Now we're going into Monday. So after that low pressure system over the weekend kind of makes its way through, there's going to be still some little lingering flurries, it looks like, on this forecast model, or maybe a little bit more in the snow shower because it gets a little bit darker there, a little bit thicker on this Watson supercomputer versus the GFS that I just showed you guys. So well, yeah, the 60 mile per hour mark is severe. However, there also has to be hail involved with the severe thunderstorm warning. So if there's no hail, there's not really doesn't meet all of the criteria for a severe thunderstorm warning. Let's see now, Monday. So you can't actually see it here, but there is a high pressure off to the south here. This is bringing, again, this northwesterly flow around the top side of the high pressure. So all the northeast again will be a northwesterly flow. So this is where there's some colder air coming in, turning this little bit of shower action into snow shower action in the northern New York State, Vermont area there. But I don't really think any of that precipitation is really going to make it down into the area on Monday throughout the tri-state. But yeah, it looks like we could be seeing a little bit breezy conditions again. And I kind of like this new forecast model. Now this is going into Tuesday. Now this is as far as the forecast model goes out. Hey Edwards, how's it going? So on this one, actually, if you want, let's check this out. I mean, we're supposed to be doing a forecast, but we're doing a past cast, kind of, hindcast. Let's see. So there is a glossary available to everybody right on the National Weather Service page. Severe thunderstorm warning. Yeah, it's a little bit small there. Not sure if you could see it behind me. There's the 58 mile per hour mark with the winds. Indicated radar or a spotter reports on producing 1 inch or larger. So that is a criteria. But you're right with the winds, 58 miles per hour. So it has to be 58 mile per hour winds and 1 inch or larger in diameter hail. So there was no hail, so that's why they didn't issue any severe thunderstorm warnings. That was something I thought was interesting. I just brought that up. But anybody can Google search this NWS glossary, and it gives really nice definitions for all the severe weather categories. And especially going into the winter season, some of these categories have changed for lake effect, snow, winter storm warning, blizzard warning. A lot of these have changed or just disappeared. So all of us meteorologists are trying to relearn these new criteria. Penny-sized hail is not big enough, but it's almost there. So it didn't fully meet that severe thunderstorm criteria. All right, now let me close out of that. Where was I here? All right. So that was pretty much the end of this forecast model, which was, where is it ending? Tuesday at 7 a.m. So Tuesday, it looks pretty dry on this one, and there's another low pressure system coming, and we're kind of, again, in that land between two pressure systems. So we're going to start to see these isobars come closer together, and it's going to be giving a little bit more of a breezy condition. So breezy is one of the key things, or the themes of the next 7 days. And on the NAM, this one again doesn't go out too far. So starting back from today, there's that low pressure system from earlier today, made its way out. That gave some rain, and it looked like very far north into New York State. Maybe some flurries there. I don't know if they actually made it all the way down into central New York, but it was a nice little system that made its way through. Then behind that is this high, and that's again a very strong high pressure. Yes, that was some of the snow squall warnings. That's part of this new reinventing or something like that for the National Weather Service winter warning criteria. There was a lot of different criteria, and most of them, they actually shrunk into categories. So if I'm not mistaken, there's no more blizzard watch. Blizzard watch is gone. That's just a blizzard watch and a winter storm watch are now exactly the same thing. There's still blizzard warning and a winter storm warning that are separate, but blizzard watch I don't think exists anymore. And then they had a lake effect snow warning, which I think is now switched to what you said, that snow squall warning. So there are some changes coming up into the winter seasons. West Virginia. Oh, on here at least. No, but where was it? When did you get the snow in West Virginia? So now, this is Thursday, so for your Thanksgiving, it looks to be very dry, but again, these isobars aren't as tightly packed on this forecast model, but I'm still going to say it's a little bit breezy. Again, nothing to affect the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade. It may, if anything, just have to lower the altitude at which the balloons are flying, but that's really about it. Looks like Thanksgiving's going to be going off without a hitch. And then going into your Black Friday on this one, high pressure stays in place there. And these isobars, they're not, again, as tightly packed as the other two forecast models. So maybe not as breezy on this one, but it does look like we're still going to have this breezy theme throughout the next 7 days. Yeah, that one, because I didn't want to make this too long, this stream, so I don't have time today to do the chat, but if you definitely leave once this becomes archived on YouTube, yeah, let's put the chat there and start talking about the new criteria in the warning. All right, so now we're going to go into Friday during the day on this. High pressure in place there. Again, not as tightly packed isobars, so maybe not as breezy according to the NAM. And then Saturday, this is where these isobars are getting very tightly packed again. So this is kind of between the exiting high pressure and another low pressure that is coming in. But let's see the timing on the NAM here. And again, this looked like it was showing what the GFS was kind of showing. So the Watson IBM forecast model was showing something a little bit different. But this line here, very thin line, this is showing early in the morning. This is showing about 11 or 10 a.m. on Saturday. Now that time on the last forecast model, let's see if I can go back to that. So now we're in Friday and Saturday. There's that line. This is actually showing about 8 a.m., that line. So watch the position there for that line. And then let's go into the NAM. The position is not exactly the same. But again, this is later. This is about 10 or 11 a.m. and it's not even there yet. And this was what the GFS was showing as well. So that Watson supercomputer one is actually the outlier in this case. All right. And this one is the shortest forecast model. So this only goes out as far as about 1 a.m. on Sunday. But this is showing some of those snow showers coming in behind either the lake effects. Maybe I'm back. I'm not sure. It looks like I am. All right, looks like I'm back in the chat. I see audio. I think I'm back. That was weird. Again, iOS 11 bugs. Recording restarted. So it's two separate recordings, but I gotta fix that. But it looks like I'm live again. And it looks like everything's back to normal. Okay, interesting. Oh, what did I miss? Favorite model to use? Neither. I don't have a favorite with either of those. European, I tend to look more towards if it's a system coming out of the tropics. GFS, I tend to look more or lean more towards if it's a system kind of coming from west to east, with from the west coast of the U.S. to the east coast of the U.S. But the European does have a fairly good handle on the tropics. I think with Irma, it was one of the most consistent forecasts versus the GFS. But yeah, so that's kind of what I go between. European, anywhere for the tropics or coming out of the tropics. GFS, lean more towards if I'm going between these regular synoptic scale, it's called, systems from west to east across the US. Also, I don't know really what my opinions are yet, because it's still fairly new with this IBM Watson supercomputer. This is a brand new one. It's still in the experimental phase. So it's interesting though, because it's much, much higher resolution than the GFS. This has a resolution, if you know, metric system, 15 kilometers versus the GFS, which is 100 kilometers. The GFS does go out further, but this is something fairly new. And also with between the forecast models, I don't know, there's some weird icons coming down. Apple logo, something, 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 umlaus. I don't know if it's still having some issues with the chat there, but it's weird symbols coming through in some of the comments. Okay, so almost done. So that was pretty much through the end of the NAM. So overall, I want to wrap this up. For tonight, we're going to be seeing pretty much a low right around, and now the green screen was popping. Looks like this app is acting weird right now. But anyway, 30 for the low, mostly clear, breezy, and cold. 5 to 15 mile per hour winds. So these are where we're going to be seeing these northwesterly winds as this high pressure system approaches us from the south. Then tomorrow, I'm going to call that a chilly high, 45 degrees. It's pretty sunny, just a few passing clouds. Oh, that's weird. As soon as I step off this way, let me stay kind of this way. He just spammed emojis. See you later. Yeah, I just do tri-state region for the forecast. Oh, what is this? Okay. Learning new things about the app as long as it stays up and running. So sunny, chilly, not as breezy, maybe 5 to 10 mile per hour wind. So nothing really too much affecting the parade. Then for tomorrow night, partly cloudy, I'm going to call it. Cold. Wow, these are really lagging. I think iOS 11 is giving me some issues with this. Let me see if I can fix that real quick. Nope, not doing that. There we go. That should fix it. Good. All right. Low 31, partly cloudy, cold. Winds right around 5 miles per hour, so not too bad tomorrow night. And then for the 7-day, let me step off cam here. So clear for the parade. Not too bad, but a little bit chilly, 45. Getting a little bit warmer for Friday and Black Friday there. Lots of money being spent on that day. Then Saturday and Sunday, not too bad. We're still going to be breezy overall, but then we may see some evening showers Saturday turning into some snow flurries early Sunday morning. Then for Monday, we're going to be seeing again pretty chilly conditions in those upper 40s. Breezy again because we're going to have the next high pressure system coming in, and that high pressure system will be bringing those very tight isobars. And then Tuesday and Wednesday, right around the low to mid 50s there. And again, a spot shower chance I'm going to say right now for Wednesday, but really that may change because it was kind of jumping around between some of these forecast models. All right, so that pretty much is going to wrap this up. Sorry for the little technical difficulties with the app crashing in the middle of it, but we got through it. All right, so then this is meteorologist Andrew Pinero. I'll be uploading a full archive of, if it doesn't do it on its own, of the split that happened in the middle. I'll upload a full archive between both, and then we could have a little discussion about the upcoming winter weather warnings that have changed. So, have a great evening, everybody. If I don't see you for the next couple days with a weather update, have a happy Thanksgiving, and stay safe and enjoy time with the family if you're getting there. Have a great evening, everybody.